Hello and welcome to our channel. In this video, we will share some valuable insights on how to become a millionaire. Did you know that the best way to build your savings is to start early? Doing so allows you to take advantage of the power of compounding over the years. We will also discuss how to avoid unnecessary spending and debt, how to save 15% of your income or more, and how to make more money. We will also share some habits and principles that most millionaires use to build their net worth, such as staying away from debt, investing early and consistently, making savings a priority, increasing your income to reach your goal faster, cutting unnecessary expenses, keeping your millionaire goal front and center, and working with an investing professional. We will also share some common misconceptions about becoming a millionaire and how to avoid them. So let's get started. Now let me share with you what has been discovered when interviewing self-made millionaires. Self-made millionaires look for something positive in every failure. They say that there has to be something good in this that can benefit me, and surprise, surprise, they always find it. Secondly, self-taught millionaires always look for the valuable lesson in every setback, obstacle, or temporary failure, and they always find the lesson. In contrast, the unsuccessful complain, cry, and think about what they have lost, blaming others for their problems. Successful people say, "What can I learn from this that will make me smarter next time?" And I promise you that those who seek, find. If you look for a valuable lesson in the biggest problem you face today, you will always find the lesson. Here's another possibility. Your biggest problem today could be the greatest gift you've ever received because it may contain the lesson that will make you successful. If you stop thinking about what happened and who is to blame and start looking for the gift within your problem, it can sometimes transform your life. The next key is to dedicate yourself to continuous learning. What takes you from nothing to wealth is personal development and professional development. In the 20th century, as Peter Drucker says, knowledge and skill are the keys to the 20th century, and the only relevant skill in the 21st century is the ability to learn new skills because virtually everything you know is becoming obsolete at a rapid pace. Stephen Covey says that your current knowledge base has a half-life of 2 years, which means that half of what you know will be irrelevant in 2 years, and 2 years later, half of that. So if you are not constantly learning and improving your knowledge and skills, you are not staying in the same place. As Pat Riley, the basketball coach, says, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. If you're not constantly learning, you're actually falling behind. Here are 3 keys to continuous learning. First, read in your field for 30 to 60 minutes every day. In other words, turn off the TV, turn off the radio, put aside the newspaper, and simply read in your field. The best places to read are books written by the most successful people in your field because books contain a wealth of knowledge that will allow you to function at a much higher level and achieve much better results than you could before. So read for 30 to 60 minutes a day. I have had people tell me countless times over the years that reading an hour a day has doubled and tripled their income in a year. Second, take all the courses you can in your field. The courses and seminars available to you in your field, taught by professionals, have been developed for years and years, have been tested over and over again. And the person who is talking to you for several hours has spent thousands of hours learning their subject and has tested it with thousands of other people. When you take a course, you can learn enough information in 1 or 2 days more than you could learn in 2 or 3 years or even a lifetime, all distilled and gathered. People say they can't afford a course, but you can't afford not to buy books or go to courses. A few years ago, I had a very successful dentist recommended by a friend. This dentist retired at the age of 53 and just before retiring, sold his practice for about $2 million. He told me that about 8 years ago, he attended an international dental conference in Hong Kong. He flew from California to Hong Kong to attend this conference because there were specialists giving private lectures, sort of plenary sessions. He attended this session on a particular cosmetic surgery technique that this dentist had developed and that no one else knew about. Basically, you could straighten the entire front jaw of a person to make it look beautiful at a very low cost and with a high level of effectiveness. He returned and began implementing it in his practice. People started flying from 500 to 1,000 miles away. Each dentist sent their family and themselves to this dentist. He could charge whatever he wanted. 8 years later, he retired as a self-taught millionaire at the age of 53 to enjoy his money for the rest of his life. What he learned from a session at a conference in a single course is a true story and maybe an exception. But you can never say where the information will come from. The third way to improve your skills is to listen to audio programs in your car. According to the University of Southern California, the average driver spends 500 to 1,000 hours per year driving 25 to 50,000 miles. If you listen to audio programs in your car, you will get the equivalent of almost attending university full-time just by listening to learning material while you drive. This can completely and profoundly change your life. It is very important. Here's an interesting point. The more you commit to being the best person you can be, the more you like and respect yourself, the more energy you have, the bigger the goals you set, and the more persistent you are when you invest in yourself, read, learn, and improve your skills. You are telling yourself, wow, I am a person with a great future, and it depends on me to maximize my potential. Your self-esteem rises, your self-respect increases, your sense of personal pride rises, and you begin to ascend and earn more in all areas of your life. Surround yourself with the right people. Another important aspect is to develop resilience and the ability to recover. This skill is fundamental for self-taught millionaires since most things will not work as expected. You will face setbacks again and again, and the key is to bounce back instead of breaking down. Learn to apply the mental rehearsal technique. Prepare yourself mentally for adversity before it happens. Decide not to get upset, angry, or frustrated when something goes wrong. Learn from it. Get up and move on. Remember that facing problems is a constant part of life. The key is not to avoid problems, but to be proactive in finding solutions. According to 30 years of research, superior people stand out in how they respond to crises and handle problems. They do not allow problems to affect them emotionally, but focus intensely on finding solutions. Another important piece of advice is to take your main goal and turn it into a clear question. For example, if your goal is to double your income, ask yourself, what can I do to double my income in the next 12 months? Then write down at least 20 answers. This exercise, called mindstorming or the 20 ideas method, has transformed the lives of many people and has led to the creation of millionaires. Once you have your answers, choose one and act on it immediately. This will keep you thinking and acting creatively all day. Another key element to becoming a self-taught millionaire is to adopt unbreakable optimism. Optimists think and talk about what they want most of the time. They look for the good in every situation, seek valuable lessons, and constantly feed their minds with great ideas that open up new perspectives. Optimism leads you to learn more, try more things, and persist without giving up. So keep your mind on what you want and be an unbreakable optimist. This will lead you to the path of success. Decide that once you have decided that you are going to become rich, you simply will not stop until you achieve that goal. You will experience many setbacks and difficulties. Almost everyone succeeds in a direction different from the one they originally had in mind or initially thought. But they keep moving forward, almost like a football player running down the field, blocking, changing, moving back and forth continuously, but never losing sight of the goal. The penultimate quality of self-taught millionaires is that they have developed the qualities of courage and persistence. As I mentioned before, the biggest obstacle to success is the fear of failure. The antidote to the fear of failure is the habit of courage. You need two types of courage to succeed: the courage to start and the courage to persevere. The first type of courage is the courage to take a leap without any guarantees of success. They say jump and the net will appear. Take action without guarantees and then learn. The second type of courage is the courage to persevere, to keep going. It is the pre-decision that you will never give up, no matter what happens. You can be knocked down again and again, but you will never give up. The interesting reality is that if you make that decision in advance, you will find yourself continually recovering. Personal discipline is the master key to wealth. It is the ability to make yourself do what you should do when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. Self-discipline is the quality that will make you a great success. It is the ability to force yourself to do what you know you should do, Persistence is self-discipline in action. Every time you persist, you build your self-discipline. Every time you practice self-discipline, you build your ability to persist. Both are linked to your self-esteem. The more you persist, the more you like yourself. And the more you like yourself, the more discipline you have. And the more discipline you practice, the more you like yourself. As a result, you persist more until you reach a higher spiral where you become absolutely unstoppable. You reach the point where you know you can achieve the goal and nothing in the world can stop you. Each step you take forward makes you stronger and stronger until finally people say, one thing about him or her, you can't stop him or her once they've decided they want something. They won't stop until they get it. Developing this quality will make nothing impossible for you. So let me leave you with these last points. We are living in the best time in all of human history. More people will make more money in the next few years than has ever been made in all of human history. More people will become millionaires and are becoming millionaires today at a faster rate than we ever thought possible. And no one is better than you and no one is smarter than you. If you do what other self-taught millionaires do, then nothing in the world can stop you from eventually achieving the same results as other self-taught millionaires. I hope you do. A beautiful line I read not long ago says, "The best way to predict the future is to create it," which means having a vision. And even though the vision is up in the air or in the sky, build a foundation under your dreams. And when you see men and women who come out of poverty and darkness into fame and renown, you invariably see someone who had a vision of what they could be. The worst thing in the world is to do very efficiently what does not need to be done at all. Many of us work very hard to do efficiently what does not need to be done at all. Anyone who has had employees will tell you that every day you find your employees doing something very diligently, but that is completely irrelevant to the success of the business. So focus on results. Here's a key question to ask yourself in your work life. I think it's one of the most important key questions I'll give you. I'll give you two. Number one, what results are expected of me? Not what activities, but what results or what productions am I supposed to generate in my work? The second question you can ask yourself is, why am I on the payroll? Why am I on the payroll? What results are expected? The results that are expected of us in sales are sales, and the only time we're working is when we're doing something that directly contributes to that result. Not true. But of course, why do we do other things? I have come to the conviction that the reason we do other things is that they are fun and easy rather than difficult and necessary. I believe that the main reason why people fail in life is due to the convenience factor that we always make, and we always take the fastest and easiest route to get the things we want. But the fastest and easiest route in life is almost always the route to failure. It is a short-term gain for a long-term pain. We do it as something trivial and easy today instead of what is difficult and necessary, and then we have to do what is difficult and necessary at the end of our life when it is too late. And you will discover that the willingness and ability to discipline yourself, to be clear about what you want, to be clear about where you are heading, to be clear about the results that are expected of you, and then only work on those results. The ability to discipline yourself to do this is absolutely crucial to success. It is not possible to conceive of a successful person who is not capable of disciplining themselves to do what is difficult and necessary instead of what is fun and easy, especially when it comes to managing your time. When it comes to figuring out what you should do day by day, focus on the results, not the activities. Now let me give you a method that has helped me. Write down all your goals. All goals must be in writing. By the way, if you don't have them in writing, then they are not really goals at all. They are just wishes. And as they say, a wish is simply a goal without energy behind it. Have your goals in writing. Write them down in a very specific and clear manner. Then every morning, rewrite your main goals in the first person singular as if they already exist. Rewrite your main goals every morning. This should take you a couple of minutes, maybe 5. You can do it all in one paragraph. For example, if your goal is to earn $50,000 a year, every morning write, "I earn $50,000 a year." If your goal is to be excellent in real estate, write, "I am an excellent seller in my field." If your goal is to weigh a certain number of pounds, If your goal is to enjoy a certain type of life, write your main goals in the first person singular as if they already exist today every morning. Then every night, take a few minutes, maybe 10, instead of watching TV. Just before turning it on, say, wait a second, I have to check my progress. Sit down and review what you have done during the day and ask yourself, what have I done well today? What have I done that has brought me closer to my goals? And the second question is, what would I do differently if I had to live today again? Those 4 steps, writing and rewriting your goals every morning, reviewing them at night, and asking yourself those 2 questions. What did I do well that brought me closer to my goals today? And what would I do differently if I had the day to live again? If you ask yourself those 2 questions in the next 30 days, you will achieve more than you have achieved in the last 6 months. This is the most incredible method I have seen. I learned it a few years ago. Just rewrite your goals every morning. The only problem with goals is that we don't set enough of them and we don't set them high enough. You can have everything you want. Imagine that you can have everything you want. Anything you can keep in your mind continuously, you can have it. Anything you are crystal clear about wanting and are willing to pay the price to get it, you can have it. So clarity is the key. Have clarity about what you want. Have clarity about what you need to do to get it. Have clarity about your vision. Speak, walk, talk, and act with clarity. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Your support helps me create more content like this. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks again for watching.